Hello everyone and welcome to the second episode, my gosh, let's keep going, of Adam's Archery. So I've decided to change. I had a Matthews Ultraview rest and I'm looking to do some hunting at the end of the year with some buddies of mine, and yeah, it's been great whilst I've been getting into archery again. I've had a sort of a break from about 15 years or so. And yeah, it's really helped me get my form back, my rhythm, my draw cycle. However, I'm doing a lot of target archery at the minute, some indoor and outdoor, and I felt the rest was, it just could do a slight improvement really. It's probably absolutely fine for hunting obviously, and I have also been using it to some very good success with some of the target stuff that I've been doing. But yeah, I just want to show you what I've upgraded to. For those of you who missed sort of my very first episode, I'm doing this because my son's been giving me loads of grief, as they do, and I keep telling him, give things a go in life, and what have you got to lose? Absolutely nothing. So he's convinced me to do a YouTube channel for some of, let's say, the issues that I might have come across. Like I said, I'm returning to the sport, but I had a break from it for a long time. There's lots of sort of new elements to it that have obviously improved in that time. And I'm hoping that, if there's little snippets of information that might help people getting into archery. I know it's quite a daunting thing for me to pick up again, especially in this country. It's probably not as popular, you could argue, with some sports, so you really have to do your digging and find some clubs, although there's many of them out there, and it can be quite a daunting sport to undertake, but it's great fun. Really is great fun. I'm really enjoying it at the minute. So yeah, like I said, I've got a Matthews Ultraview rest, which was this one. Don't worry, I will be upgrading cameras and mics and everything, but hey, early days, and like I said, I've got a son that keeps bending my ear saying I've not done it yet. That's one I just took off. You will see, just grab my camera, there's a plethora of Allen keys and lots of swearing that's taking place, but I have upgraded to, if that will focus for me, is it Beiter? Is that how you pronounce it? B-E-I-T-E-R. This is the sight I've just put on. So I'll try and shake the camera here a little bit, but yeah, it's great. I can't really grumble. I must admit, I am used to the other one though, where it's been obviously it draws back with the string, but it's just another thing to get used to, I suppose. The bow I have, if you're wondering, is a Matthews Title 38. I've got quite a long draw, etc. So it's been fantastic for me, this bow. Being brutally honest, I think archery can be an expensive sport, and I'm lucky I've managed to sort of pick it back up with a bow like that. One thing I will say about these rests, obviously, is getting used to, is you have to be quite consistent with your draw. If you're shaking all over the place, it's probably not the rest for you to start with, in my own humble opinion. I recently changed my sight tape, should I say. I've been increasing some of the distances recently, so I've been working quite a lot on that. And obviously changing my rest has had an impact on this. I measured it all before. I did loads of little pencil marks of where things were. And I suppose in my naivety, I thought I'd just measure it straight off the side of my bow, and away we go. But hey, it's not took me very long to work it back again on my sight tape. I'm going to do some longer distances this weekend, which I'll hopefully do some filming to show you, because I'll have to revisit the sight tape, which again is one of the most frustrating but also oddly enjoyable parts about archery, about sort of zeroing yourself in. I'm going to do some sort of real beginner videos on that. I don't claim to be an expert, I really don't. I'm just an amateur bloke who likes doing a bit of archery. that's the long and short of it. And I want to try and show you my own journey. I'm going to enter a couple of competitions, possibly film some of it, you know, just to give a bit of an insight to people what to expect. I've recently started taking up 3D archery as well, so field archery, I suppose, with the NFAS. I'm going to do some filming with that. Again, just to give people an insight. You know, I think sometimes we can all overthink things instead of just having a go. What have you got to lose? You know, that is that token phrase, and every expert was once a beginner. And I think people just need to have a bit more of an easygoing attitude sometimes in life and just have a crack and have a go. I'm also going to do some other videos on stabilizers, what I've found. Again, there's millions of videos, but sometimes I think they're almost a little bit too technical for me anyway. I'm going to talk you through the sights that I've had. I started out with a 5-pin sight, again, which was great. You know, I was picking the sport back up again, getting used to your draw cycle, as I've said, and that was perfect for me. You know, really helped me out with the target work, setting your pins. I'll talk through that again. There's millions of videos on YouTube, but I just want to try and do a bit of a basic viewpoint sometimes of the archery. I mean, you go into arrows and sometimes you get lost in the science a little bit, and I just want to help people get out there and get doing archery effectively, taking it up, having some fun, you know, entering some little local competitions, just enjoying yourself, you know. I do think with the huntsmanship I have planned, possibly at the end of the year, early start of next, I may change my bow. This is obviously more heavily biased towards the target, although you could use the bow, no problem. But I really want to try and set this up as a target rig for me. Just to touch on little improvements I've done. So I've gone for a Viper sight, 6 times magnification. That's helped me personally. My eyesight isn't the greatest. It really isn't. If you can, I'd highly recommend it if it's something that you think you'd be happy with. Obviously, if you've got a magnification on your sight, you know, the slightest movement can seem quite extreme almost, whereas for argument's sake, if you've just got a pin, you don't necessarily notice that deviation when you're aiming as such. I am tomorrow going to try some clarifiers, which again I'll pop a little video up and talk you through that. So a clarifier is what goes in your peep, which also helps sharpen the image up, if you like, of the target. But there's a bit of a how can I describe it? You sort of gain with one thing and lose with another. So with the clarifiers, you can sometimes have a sort of a blurrier target outside of the target, if you like, if it's too clear on the target, and vice versa. So I think it's a case of you have to try them and see which one fits best. But like I said, my eyesight isn't the greatest, and I do think that would help me. I'm also doing some videos on some arrows that I've got. Again, I've found there's been a massive improvement, and I'm going to work through some of the equipment I've got, quivers, little things, you know, that really helped me. Daft little things like an arrow puller, a couple of quid, worth weight in gold. You know, it's hard work pulling out any arrow or compound arrow specifically at times. So things like arrow pullers, oil, lubricant for your arrows. It's just, you know, these are all small little things that I've had to find out as I've gone along, and I want to try and give a real, you know, not an expert's opinion on some of this stuff. I'm going to review the stuff that I bought, which hopefully may or may not save you some money along the way. But I'll keep all that for further videos. Again, this is early days, I'm new to it, I've never edited a video in my life. As I said, my son's at an age where I'm trying to tell him the world is his oyster, and just go for it, try things. And I was talking to him about YouTube, and he said to me, he's always on YouTube anyway, as kids his age are, he's 12, they're 13, and he's like, set a channel up, so that's why I'm doing it. So the sound quality will improve, the editing will improve, but I'm hoping you stay with me in the journey, I really want my channel specifically to be just a place where, you know, I will ask you guys questions. I want to do things and say, what would you do with this, or what would you do with that, or what's your experience with this, or what's your experience with that? You know, has anyone got any recommendations? You know, I want it to be a place where, you know, if you recommend something or you try and give some advice, that you're not really shot down for it. It's just that's your experience, that's your own experience of doing that particular thing, and you're just trying to share it with the community and yeah, get everyone out there shooting, really. Okay, I'll catch you on the next one.